Hello and welcome to highlights from a pretty wet day 12 at the Cricket World Cup. Well, after strong wins over Pakistan and India, Australia was facing the much easier prospect of beating Holland. But the match was nearly abandoned before a ball could be bowled. If the constant rain wasn't enough, ground staff spilt water on the pitch while removing the covers. With the help, though, of a police chopper and other drying devices, they managed to get the pitch ready for a start after a 1-hour delay. Of course, Australia was desperate to win the toss and have a bowl in a bid to finish the game quickly before the rain returned. Here's Michael Holding with the two captains and the match referee.
Okay, thank you very much. We go for heads.
Heads.
The call is head.
Heads it is. Heads it is.
Heads is the call. Heads it is. You're going to be bowling first?
Yes. Why? I think, we've done well against India, bowling first. I think hopefully we can repeat that today. And I'm very pleased that we are out here on the middle and playing some cricket, because it earlier didn't look like it.
The pitch is still not 100% perfect, Roland, but you're quite happy to play.
I mean, exceptional what the ground staff have done and bringing the helicopter so quickly. And, they've done marvellous jobs. It doesn't look 100% perfect, but good enough to get play underway. And I'm pleased that we're in the field.
And that's why you're here. You're here for experience, so you want to play.
Yeah, we want to play. I mean, we don't learn anything by sitting in the pavilion. We really want to play. I mean, that was our intentions to start off with. I mean, any possibility to get play underway, we were looking for. But I'm glad that we can play on the same strip, on the right strip. And I'm pleased that I won the toss for a change.
Okay, Roland. Good luck.
Thanks very much, Michael.
Ricky, you'll be batting first. The pitch is not perfect, but still good enough.
That's good enough to play on, yeah. And we got here this morning, it was a bit wet, but we decided we wanted to get the game over as sort of underway as quickly as we could, and Roland agreed to that, so we're out here just about to start.
And with Australia struggling for points, you need these 4.
Oh, look, it'd be nice to get another 4 points out of today. We just hope the rain stays away and hope we can play good cricket, yeah.
What about the reduction in the overs? Has that influenced the selection of your team?
No, it hasn't. No, probably the weather influenced the selection more than anything. We've left Brad Hogg out today just to go in with some seamers to hopefully be able to take some early wickets and hopefully get the game over before the rain comes.
And you'll be looking to get a very good score, I suppose, because it's also important to run rate later on.
Yeah, it is, yeah, and we've got a few guys on our side that haven't played much cricket either. You know, Damien Martin hasn't had much batting, Michael Bevan and Darren Liebman haven't had much batting, so it's important for those guys to get a bit of time in the middle today.
OK, Ricky, good luck.
Thanks, mate.
Yes, the Dutch pretty happy to bowl first on a pitch that will no doubt offer plenty of movement. Medium pacers Tim De Lader, Roland Lefebvre and Edgar Schifferle hoping to make full use of the conditions before batsmen Van Troost and Van Bunga try to blunt Australia's pace attack. As Ricky Ponting mentioned, the Aussies were out to give Damien Martin, Jimmy Marr, Darren Lehmann and Michael Bevan all valuable time in the middle. And with Adam Gilchrist rested, Marr also took over the keeping duties while Andy Bickle made his first start at the Cup. Well, the rain delay meant the match was reduced to 47 overs per side, and despite those bowler-friendly conditions, Queensland left-handers Matt Hayden and Jimmy Marr were determined to make a good start. We joined the action with Schifferle bowling to Marr.
Come on, if you have him now.
Here's the first ball. That's well struck. Good way to get on the way. Nothing wrong with the pitch for that one. Skifferly short and hammered away through square leg.
Short and slow. Good combination if you're a left-handed opening batsman. Waiting to see what this pitch is going to do. Jimmy Marr gets a good look at it. Flips it over the square leg umpires. The fielding team thought they had a bit of a chance there for a minute. There was shouts of catch it, but Marr was good enough to get it in the middle of the bat and 4. And I guess, Tony, because of the Afrikaans nature of Potchefstroom, they've got good support here, the Dutch. The crowd were very happy when they heard the toss had gone the right way of the Dutch and they were to bowl first. Certainly a great impact the colours of Holland have in any crowd.
Hayden will press for 2 and come back for them. No, he won't. He was ready to come. But a good piece of work in the outfield limits them to a single. 6 runs come off the first over.
100th one-day international for Dave Orchard.
Oh!
But up in Brisbane, I'm sure Healesy would have played on soft pitches.
Not often. They are supposed to be covered, but the rain on a Thursday afternoon before the Thursday night covers go on do cause a headache or two. There's a headache or two for the wicketkeeper. Your own Smits is up to the stumps already because of the seam off this pitch.
They're celebrating already. What umpire Orchard has done in the 101 internationals, not for nothing.
This is really close. But if the batsman can't work out how high these balls are going to bounce, the umpire's going to have time to adjust as well. It's hit Matthew Hayden right in front, possibly too high. Keeper's up. Hayden stuck in his crease. It decks back. The others have been decking away from the left-hander. And that was well worth the shout Holland gave it.
There's the Australian card, Damien Martin in next, and then Darren Lehman, who had to miss the opening match. Michael Bevan also has been out for some time. Not the kind of pitch they'd relish for their comebacks. Outfield is fast despite the rain. It'll go all the way, I think. Not quite. Beautiful work.
Shifley certainly doesn't want to pitch short. And this time, he just overcompensated and swung the ball. But unfortunately for him, swung onto leg stump. Jimmy Maher loves that. Timed it very well. The outfield is excellent here. It's as good as anything else in the country. And the fielders can enjoy such good conditions.
Well, Schulte is normally a keeper. Wonderful piece of work.
This partnership, 12 runs from 27 balls. Maher's the one probably getting the looser deliveries, Matthew Hayden would say. 8 runs from 7 deliveries and get down the other end.
Picked it up well. Whipped it over wide mid-on for 4. Typical Matthew Hayden shot. So he gets his first boundary.
This is not a bad length by Shifley, but it's 2-leg stump. And look at Hayden, he goes across his stumps and makes it even further feel as if it's on leg stump. He hit that from middle and off over mid-wicket. Very good improvisation for the conditions. Good play. Shifley's got to get wider of off if he sees Hayden walking across again.
Not all that easy for Australia. And that's beautifully put away. Bowled a full toss, the last ball of the previous over, which was not put away by Hayden. This time, Maher has no difficulty in stroking it through mid-wicket. Easy boundary.
Not coping at all well, Shifley, with the conditions. He's been short and now full 2 balls in a row. He's got lots to think about, how the ball's feeling in his hand, how moist the run-up is, and then how is he going to hit the crease, and he's not coping at all well.
If you've got a pitch doing something, you don't want to be full. It's been full twice now with successive deliveries. Last ball of the previous over, first one of this. Just clipping the pad on the way down. Unusual not to find the keeper and everyone jumping in the air, appealing.
Hey, he's up, Tony. Keepers don't appeal unless they know it's out. Just swings into the left-hander. He's got the seam in good position. Nicks the left-hander's thigh pad. Prevents the wide being called.
Just wide, that's off the bat this time, I think. And gone away for 4. Smits couldn't get around. He has to be wide of that off stump with Skifferly coming over the wicket to the left-hander. So it's a long way for him to go.
This would have been a good ball to a right-hander, but to a left-hander, and especially Jimmy Maher, which has the leg glance as one of his favourite shots. He just walks across the stumps a little bit and tickles it down there quite often. A leg slip can be placed for Jimmy Maher and can be a dangerous catcher. Shifley, in response to that leg glance to 4, comes around the wicket now. Let's see if he can't be much more accurate from around there.
Another full toss, so he's had 3, lucky to get away with 2 of them, which have been scoreless. 1 has been put away for 4. So 26 without loss after 7 overs, Australia having been put in. Here's Lefebvre now to Hayden. Got the fine leg up, and a little bit of a fumble gives the alert Australians the opportunity for a single. A little fumble there at short fine leg. Van Troost, the fielder there, or the non-fielder as the case may be.
Gutsy decision. I think he's up there, Smiths, because to stop both of these batsmen from charging Lefebvre. But there's a slip. I don't know about you. You've been a fantastic first slipper, mate. I would like to see him a bit finer there for me.
I think he's worried about going finer because he won't be able to see the ball. That's what his worry is. And that's the other problem with having the keeper up to the stumps, particularly when there's some movement off the seam. If he's good enough to get an edge, and we've already seen a couple of balls go past the edge of Jimmy Ma's bat, if it doesn't go straight to the keeper, it's very difficult for the first slip because he can be blocked, or his vision can be blocked by the keeper, and that can be the other disadvantage about having the keeper up there.
And as a batsman, because this ball is swinging and bouncing, it's very hard to get your hands through the ball and hit the ball down the ground. So I expect Jimmy Ma and Matthew Hayden to look for anything that's short and then try and jump on it and whack it over mid-wicket or whack it through point. They're the boundary areas at the moment, but this ball is swinging and bouncing, so keeping a watchful eye on him.
He gets the edge on that occasion. It's wide of the man at first slip. 29 without loss after 8 overs.
This pitch bowling from around the wicket here. You just see some of the grass there in between some of these peaks and valleys on this pitch. It's nowhere near flat, that's for sure. Forget about the water on the pitch. You see the mower's taking the tops off on some of the little ridges here. And that's your line you're looking about. Maybe bowl a little bit shorter than that, but that's the line you're hoping to for him to bowl.
The advantage now that Jimmy Ma has got is that everything is now coming in from off the leg. The angle from around the wicket and also the swing. And that's the advantage I think Schiffel's giving up by bowling around the wicket. If he bowls over the wicket to the left-hander, he's actually angling the ball away and swinging it back in. That's what makes it tough. Oh, good shot. Well, Schiffely really is struggling with his length. But I tell you what, Jimmy Ma to me looks in good form.
Well, you just don't bowl short at that pace. Not at 125 kilometres per hour. Oh, that was a gimme. He's given a couple of gimmies today already, and a few Christmas presents, and we're only in February. Look at that. Anyone who plays first-class cricket or even club cricket in Australia or anywhere in the world should get onto that.
And at the moment, Hayden's struggling. That's what he's done against Lefebvre. He's faced 17 deliveries, Matthew Hayden, from Roland Lefebvre, and he scored 1 run. So I suppose you could say the tactic is working. Hayden's not got away, but they haven't got him out either. Beautiful shot. That is a beautiful piece of timing. I don't believe it was a half volley. It was just short of a half volley. And Matthew Hayden smashed it through the covers.
Yeah, hopefully this might be the shot for Matthew Hayden to get his innings flowing. It takes a lot of courage with the ball seaming and bouncing and swinging. And he foot down, good confident stride down the pitch. Wasn't that great technique? That wasn't short at all. And look at the hands through the ball. That's just class. That's the reason why he's #1 batsman in the world.
Doesn't get that one through. That's well fielded. Esmeyer was the fieldsman on that occasion, but that drive of Matthew Hayden's, that side-on angle gave us a really good view. Just watch where this pitches. There's no way that's a half volley. Hayden hits that from about his knee. That's the confidence of Matthew Hayden at the moment. And that one goes through vacant sort of third slip area.
That delivery, pitched outside, leg almost, and seamed away. Luckily, no, he's a class player. That's probably why he got a bat on it. He's having a smile. He said, come on now, Jimmy. Let's see how you go with him now.
That's nicely steered. Jimmy Maher will look for two, and he's coming, and he's forced the mistake from Schifferle down the deep. Good pressure running from Jimmy Maher. 40 runs off 10 overs. Current run rate is 4 runs per over, and Hayden and Maher are just starting to put their foot down. The last few overs have been good for Australia. Starting to get used to the pace in this pitch. We'll get one for that. And once again, that line not quite right from Schifferle. Quickest of all the Dutch bowlers, but he's just having trouble, I think, controlling the swing. Beautiful conditions for bowling, really. It's overcast. There's some swing out there, it's quite pleasant. Mid-20 degrees. And I think he's just having a bit of trouble controlling the ball at the moment, and probably controlling his footing as well. That's why he's bowling around the wicket at the moment. Well, we've talked about your own Schmitz, the keeper. He's been up to the stumps, taking the balls. A lovely pair of hands on him. Sharp movements. He's not a very tall man. Generally, he's got good handwork. I'm not so sure about the footwork sometimes, though.
It's the first time these two teams have met in a one-day international. Australia versus Holland. And the last time I can remember actually playing a friendly match, Mark, was in 1989 in The Hague. And interesting time, Australia versus Holland there. On the mats we were. Tim Zura getting 5 wickets, I believe, in that match. We just won it.
And there is again from Hayden. This time it was a half volley. It was over-pitched from Schifferle. And Matthew Hayden doesn't need too many invitations.
Just the placement for me. And again, on this pitch, it must be very hard to drive. Let's have a look at here. And he's rolled the fingers over it. Matthew Hayden has actually picked that, and he went through with his hands and his placement. Look at that confident stride. A good foot out of his crease there. Oh, that's great technique for any young boy or girl in the world to copy.
That was in the air, just momentarily. And once again, Hayden's timed the ball well enough to take it to the boundary. And the run's just beginning to flow now. That's 4 boundaries now for Hayden, 4 also for Maher, and the 50's up.
And nice little placement it was. It really was a nice shot. And with surprising, Mark, with all the amount of rain that we've had, this outfield is very, very fast indeed. And he's just clips off his legs there, and he knows it's 4. He must have a very good bat. He uses one that's about £2.9.
Oh, that's perilously close. I think maybe to the leg stump. It's been a good bowling change so far from Lefebvre. Delata has got the pressure on Jimmy Maher. 4 dot balls in a row. And then Jimmy Maher is often the case when you're trying to hit boundaries. Well, he brings about his own downfall. Wasn't quite there to cut that. And a missed leg stump by a whisker.
Good shape again. And Jimmy Maher's just struggling here a little bit. He's hit 4 boundaries. His 26 has come up 40. Just having a good look there. And good communication too between Matty Hayden. They've opened together for Queensland, of course.
Oh, he's got him. There's the wicket. Delata's been rewarded for a very good over. He's pitched the ball up. Looked to me like it was hitting to swing in slightly to Jimmy Maher. Enticed the drive and got the edge. Good piece of bowling. And a good piece of captaincy rewarded as well.
How easy was the catch taken as well. Here's an outside edge, follow through, and oh, they're pretty happy. Well bowled too, fantastic. And there it is, that's the end of Jimmy Marr. Caught Van Bunga, and he goes for 26, and now the Australians are 52 for 1 off 13.
Well, Damien Martin is the new man for Australia, batting at number 3 in this match. Desperate need of some match practice, actually, Damien Martin. Missed out in the first game, first ball duck against Pakistan. Didn't get a bat in Australia's next match against India, so Damien Martin looking for some time in the middle. The reason he's out there is courtesy of a very good delivery. Watch the ball just swing back in there. I think it just held its line as well, enticed the drive, good healthy edge, and Van Bunga, Dan Van Bunga, the man at first step, comfortable catch.
Certainly is a good catch, particularly with the keeper up in the stumps. Very, very hard to pick it up. Here it is here. Went hard at the ball, Nick, and he took that pretty easily, didn't he? Oh, he's having a good tournament. He is playing well.
Damien Martin's away. Interesting enough, though, that 2 men out on the leg side there for Damien Martin. Not sure at this stage whether I'll need 2 men out in the deep on the leg side. A new man in, the pitch is doing a bit. Over the last, well, there it is, over the last 3.5 overs, only 4 runs have been scored for a wicket. I'd like to see the Dutchman just attack a little bit more here.
Put it down. It was a crisp hit, I can tell you. Bowler did well to get down to it. It's a 47-over match.
I think I heard some celebrations before the catch was even taken. Almost had it, almost. I think he was a bit surprised to see coming back at him that quickly. That would have been a big wicket. You know that it had lots of rain overnight, and when the groundsman attempted to remove the covers, that's what he found. Lots of water under the covers, on the playing surface. He was a bit disappointed. I think he has to now find a new mobile phone.
Yes, the groundsman's disappointment showed through. He didn't throw his mobile far, but he threw it very fast. Got rid of a little bit of the angst. A lot of change of pace going on out there from Deleda. That is the groundsman. Did a terrific job out there today. Once he got over that initial disappointment, and you can just imagine pulling those covers back and knowing that you're going to see a beautiful dry surface because the covering has been superb, and all of a sudden there's a mass of water like a little flood. It's gone fine. The outfield's still quite fast, remarkably so. The drainage is quite magnificent here on this ground.
Apparently it has the best drainage in all of South Africa. It's a pretty new ground. I think it's been about 4 or 5 years now since this ground has been put in. And excellent drainage. Still a pretty fast outfield. Australian batsmen still getting full value for their shots. Should get full value for that as well.
That'll ease things a bit for Damien Martin. He got a first bowler in the game at Wanderers, the first game he played against Pakistan. Now suddenly he started to play a few strokes, and on a pitch not totally conducive to good stroke play.
Well, immediately with that shot, this first slip disappears.
That's a wide. It's been a bit of swing there today. I thought the skipper, Roland Lefebvre, bowled very well. He swung it both ways. He was the one for whom the keeper came up, and he stayed up most of the time now. Didn't stick around up there for Schifferly, but Schifferly was a bit wayward. And that's one of the reasons you shouldn't actually stand up on a pitch with variable bounce.
Very upright seam. Have a look at that delivery. That's almost like a leg break. That's not a leg cutter. Leg spinner would be happy with that. Smith's not so happy. Perhaps he needs to go back to where he is normally. Without the slip, he certainly would have a better chance of taking an outside edge as well.
83 for 1 and 19 overs gone. That's a good shot. Well, Damien Martin will take every opportunity here today. It's a bit of a battle for places inside. Today he's got his opportunity on a pitch where the ball's doing a bit.
Very important for him to spend some time at the crease. Sure, the pitch is doing a bit. He's not as free with his stroke play as he would like to be. But I don't think that really matters. This is not a game where Australia need to score over 300 runs. Not saying that they won't get over 300, but they need not attempt to get over 300. It's more important to spend time at the crease, play themselves in. A lot of cricket left in this World Cup. Australia will want all their batsmen in pretty good nick for future matches.
Right down. Hey, go, run.
Well, you hear people talking about playing under pressure. Well, coming from India and Pakistan, you're always under pressure. That's what Australia has to do in this Pool A. Those are their fixtures. Holland, of course, a third of them.
Yes. Hit this out.
91 for 1 off 20. The big leg cutter. Did he get a nick?
And that's the important thing as well. I thought they said Shane Warne had gone home. I think he came back for Holland. That was much more than a leg cutter. That was a leg break.
Well, he only just reached. He could have got one for the wide had he decided to let it go, but he's decided to clunk it for 4 instead.
It was that wide. He had no control over the shot, Damien Martin. It was well placed though, got it behind square, long way behind square.
So far 5 from this over to Damien Martin. I was talking about Matthew Hayden a little earlier. 33 from 59. That's unusual for Matthew Hayden. I think he has set himself to try to bat through.
Catch it.
But he's failed. Shifley, the man to destroy those best laid plans. 103 for 2.
Wasn't showing too much of an aggressive intent for most of the innings, Matt Hayden, and then he decides, well, let me try and get a boundary or two, and just picked out Shifley. Well, Shifley didn't bowl that well, but he'll be happy with that catch. You can see how happy he is. So is Tim, the leader. It's 103 for 2.
Updating Fox Sports News, Shane Warne's anti-doping hearing is continuing in Melbourne. A number of witnesses have appeared before the panel, but no decision on the spinner's fate is expected until later tonight. The Australian cricket team sent Warne a letter of support from South Africa today. He faces a possible 2-year ban after testing positive to a banned diuretic. Australian soccer is mourning the passing of former Socceroo coach Eddie Thompson. Thompson led the national side from 1990 to 1996. He died a few days short of his 56th birthday after a long illness. And Steve Elkington is in a tie for second at the Nissan Open after a rain-affected opening round. Full details on Fox Sports News tonight at 9:30.
During the Sydney to Hobart, I was a helicopter pilot flying Seahawks with the Navy. At night, under bad conditions, we managed to rescue 2 survivors from the Winston Churchill. Probably the best thing was when I received a letter from one of the wives. It described to me how he wasn't just a survivor, he was a husband, father, family man. Rewards like that you just can't buy.
Walk into a Harvey Norman superstore and discover
the largest range of computer and communication products on display and sale anywhere in Australia.
We always give you our most competitive prices every day.
Sales staff that have the experience to answer your questions or get the information for you.
And qualified service centres to handle all your minor or major installations and repairs.
When you find all of this under the one roof, why would you shop anywhere else? Harvey Norman, the one-stop shop for all your computing needs.
The 4.8-litre Nissan Patrol is the most powerful Patrol ever. In fact, with 185 kilowatts of power, it's more powerful than the V8 Land Cruiser and Pajero. It's even more powerful than the V8 Lexus and the V8 Land Rover Discovery. But what's more remarkable, it's 28% more powerful than the old Patrol. The 185 kilowatt Nissan Patrol, the most powerful Patrol ever.
As a Navy pilot, you go through a very intensive training program, but you need it because once you graduate, you're expected to operate in all weather conditions. And once you've successfully landed your helicopter on the back of a ship, it's just an awesome feeling.
We're coming towards the end of the 23rd over in this game between Australia and Holland. Darren Lehmann is the new batsman. 87 matches. They did well to cross there so that Damien Martin has taken strike.
This was a dismissal of Matt Hayden. Leg stump. I don't think you could criticise him for hitting towards the onside against that particular delivery. Well, Tim, the leader, he has taken so many wickets in this tournament already. That's gone very fine.
That's very well fielded. It's 105 for 2 from 23.
Very experienced cricketer. Well, known as the man who hit the winning runs for Australia in the final of the 1999 World Cup, Lords. Perhaps with the start which he had to his career for South Australia when he was a prolific scorer, would have felt then that he would have played a lot more.
Scored the most runs as well in Sheffield Shield cricket. Fantastic cricketer. Played for Victoria as well, played for South Australia. Works the ball, deflects the ball, plays it very late. That's his strength.
Just hearing from some Australian connections that he really declined when he moved from South Australia to Victoria. Dean, any truth in that?
I thought we made him a player, actually. Here he is, he runs it down to third man, won a Sheffield Shield, their last one in 1990, 91, and of course now he's captain of South Australia. Fabulous cricketer.
Nothing more satisfying than stirring up Australian interstate rivalry.
That's all, Fakey.
An interesting time for them as well. They've got at least these two, Martin and Lehman, have good 20-odd overs, hopefully, without the weather interrupting. Get themselves in, make a decent total over 200, 220.
Ends the over. 107 for 2. Umpires concerning themselves about some rain which has begun to fall here. It's not heavy, just a drizzle. Umpire Peter Willey in your picture there, former test player. Not many test players are umpires. Venkatragavan from India, Soka de Silva. And they've now decided that they'll leave the field, so the rain has become heavy enough to influence the umpire. You can see David Orchard's shirt there, just spotting with the drizzle, and that's a big disappointment. Ground staff has had a lot of work to do here over the past couple of days. It's been raining in this area steady yesterday, and then very heavy overnight. Then the slight accident with the removal of the covers today, and they had to bring in all sorts of artificial drying aids for them to get this match underway. And now underway, the rain's come back again.
Unfortunately, there's 25 overs in, so if rain does hang around for a while, well, the Australians will only have 20 overs now to bowl to the Holland team, the Dutch team, but 2 for 109 after 25 overs. They'll be quite happy with that. And I thought Holland's played particularly well. They really have. Look at the ground staff busy. They've done a fantastic job just to get that game on today, really. They really have done a great job.
And we have, well, up until now, certainly had a match of 47 overs each. And as Dean Jones was saying, they've done a good job, limiting Australia to 109 for 2 from 25 overs.
We had a 45-minute delay due to some light rain, which looks like it's cleared up. The sky is still a little bit on the grey side, but so we've lost a further 6 overs in the match. They're reducing the lunch and break to 20 minutes. Australia after 25 are 2 for 109. Jimmy Maher 26. Matthew Hayden out for 33. Darren Lehman's only just made it to the crease before the rain came. Damien Martin on 37. So Fico Kloppenberg is the bowler, and Damien Martin on strike, and well, still 19 overs for the Australians. Michael Holding, still plenty of opportunity to make a big score.
Yes, quite a bit of opportunity there for the batsmen to play themselves in and then to get a move on. Damien Martin, as we have said before, hasn't had a happy time of this World Cup so far. And I think we can accept, Mark, that Australia don't really have to get an enormous target against Holland. It's more important for the batsmen to spend some time at the crease.
Yes, Bevan Ponting and then Andrew Simons. I reckon the crowd would like to see Andrew Simons come in next. I don't think it's going to happen. I think you're right. I think Michael Bevan will be the next man in. Superb one-day record, Michael Bevan, averaging 54 with the bat. Oh, it's a lovely shot. He's hit that beautifully. The fieldsman in the deep probably only had about 10 metres to move to his left, and he had no chance.
Almost a wide again. Damien Martin, once he gets that width, is quite happy to throw the bat at the ball. Again, in the air for some time, but didn't really matter.
We saw New Zealand bowling that sort of width to Damien Martin last year in Australia. And some more bad news out in the middle. There's that umpire Peter Willey there on screen, and David Orchard, who's the umpire at the bowler's end, just having a bit of a look at each other. light rain starting to fall again, and it's frustrating for everyone, really. These sorts of days are no fun for anyone. The players don't enjoy it. They much prefer to see it either rain and stay off the field or stop running so they can play the game. This on and off is very annoying. 123 for 2.
Again.
28 overs have been bowled of the 44 in this match, and some more bad news. Australia are 123 for 2, but unfortunately Darren Lehmann on the right and Damien Martin are making their way off the ground. Light rain is falling again here, and unfortunately the covers are coming back out. And I mentioned this is probably the worst sort of game that any player can be involved in, any umpire, and also for the crowd as well who've come along to watch the Australians play. They used Potchefstroom as their base for this World Cup, the Australian team. So they'd have a good feel about this town, about the ground, the facilities here. I'm sure they would have loved to have played a uninterrupted 50-over match, but that's not going to happen today. Very frustrating.
No one likes it, but I think if anyone is going to be benefiting from this scenario is the fielding team, Holland. I think it's a lot easier for the bowlers to come out and hit their straps than for the batsmen to come out and start all over again. And of course, each time there's an interruption, the overs are reduced. That means Australia will have less overs with which to face. And Holland, when they bat, will know exactly what they need to get. At the moment, Australia have absolutely no idea how many overs they'll face.
Australia will resume at 123 for 2 from 28 overs. Their innings has now been reduced to 36 overs as we resume. So single for Damien Martin. Richie Beno is with me, and he's well qualified to tell you all of the permutations which we have for the bowlers for the remainder of the innings.
Well, we've had a lot of changes here today. It's been a nightmare for the umpires and for the players as well, and spectators. But 4 bowlers can bowl a maximum of 7 now, and 1 bowler can bowl a maximum of 8. There'll be a 10-minute break and also an adjusted target. So we've got all sorts of mathematical brilliance coming to you over the next 8 overs and the 10 minutes in the break.
There it is, in black and white, well, in yellow as well. 36 overs. And mercifully looking at the sky, which is cleared appreciably, I would say that we have had our last break of the day. Let's keep our fingers crossed for that. 36 overs for both teams. JJ Eismeyer continuing. A bit of turn there for him. That's well placed. 2 fielders will get to it inside the boundary, but they'll come back. And that's a half century for Damien Martin. Just the innings he would have wanted to have got him on the way. First ball duck against Pakistan. He was 1 here today when he was dropped, a difficult caught and bowled, and that was just the break he needed. It's been a good 50.
He's played very well. That was a bit of a fluky 3 he picked up there to reach his half century, because the ball was very, very short. Could have been called a wide, and he just managed to get a bat to it and evade the fielder. There's Meyer, is the bowler, left arm spinner. These are 2 experienced players, Lehmann and Martin, and they'll know precisely what to do. The Australian coach has been up in the scorer's box for a considerable amount of time, been checking and double and triple checking what might be happening, roughly what sort of target might be adjusted at the end of this 36 overs.
End of the first over on resumption. Australia have got things moving right away. 130 for 2, 29 overs gone. 36 is the limitation. Van Bunga is the new bowler. Leg spinner, got wickets against England in the earlier match. They'll come back for 2. So Dan Van Bunga bowling leg spin. We've seen a few leg spinners in the tournament so far. Alok Kapari for Bangladesh, the young leg spinner. Something special for you, Richie, a leg spinner. He started with two full tosses. I'm not sure if he is bowling leg spin, but he has the leg spin action.
Yes, he is a leg spinner, and he's better to have it up to the bat. I'd rather. And it's always nice to see leg spinners on. They've come more into fashion in all sorts of cricket since Shane Warne came on the scene. He's not here with us at the moment, but it has gone through to other countries.
Bangladeshis were even confident enough against the West Indies the other day to use Alok Kapali, the young leg spinner, for 2 of the last 4 overs of the innings. And he got a wicket.
Oh, that's nice. He's settled in. Would have been a couple of nervous deliveries to start with, particularly as there's a bit of moisture on the ground out there. They haven't run the rope between the 2 little vehicles, little golf carts, to take away the surface water.
Well, that's gone away towards the boundary, and just the point that Richie Beno was making. Rather see it full than too short. He's bowled a couple of full tosses and they've just been put away for singles, and now a long hop.
And pulled away from outside off stump. That's what you can do with anything that's very short. He's got to dry the ball after. It's not easy. He's got to dry the ball in a towel or his trousers after each delivery.
Eight off the over from the leg spinner. 138 for 2. That's well bowled. But they'll scoot through for the leg by, which means that 5 runs have come off the over, 4 off the bat and 1 from the leg. 143 for 2.
That's placement. Problems there for Van Bunga, the leg spinner. That ball's going to come back very, very damp. A matter of getting the moisture off it. And the reason he's on is that there are 4 bowlers able to bowl 7 overs and 1 able to bowl 8. And some of them, those maximum overs have been used up. He's just trying to get the moisture off the ball so as he can get a grip of it, get a grip of the seam.
So just finding it difficult to spot the ball. So he's number of full tosses. He's had a long hop pulled away for 4, and he's having his problems. Van Bunga, the leg spinner. Well, you can see from that that ball didn't come out of his fingers all that well. It's slippery.
Well, he is having his own problems with the leg spin, but JJ Asmaya had a big appeal turned down by Peter Willey. You'd have thought that the way the appeal went up and the vehement shake of the head from Willey, it might have been at loggerheads about the whole thing. It's a single there to Damien Martin. Yes, sometimes bowlers can give the real glare to the umpire. I think the bowler might have realised it wasn't a great appeal. The umpire might have agreed with him.
Short and pulled away, and that's a wonderful save, but it's still going to go into the ropes. He's pushed it around the post, but he's earned 5 runs. Tremendous effort, but again placement raises a 50 partnership between these two. Come off 55 deliveries, so great effort, but in the end all for nothing. Well, all for 4. Dutchmen right on their toes here. They know that the Australians will be looking to maximise any shot. You know those figures, so as Richie was saying, Skifferley will probably have the final over, and the skipper may well come on. He's bowled very well, the skipper, Ronald Lefebvre, at the beginning. 7 overs, just 2 for 2 maidens and none for 13. Superb bowling at the beginning. Pitch was helping. Pulled away, but just for the single. For those of you who are in your armchairs and wondering with just why, with only a couple of overs and 2 balls to go, the Australians aren't really giving it the long handle and trying to get as many runs as possible as they would in normal circumstances over the last couple of overs. There has to be a recalculation of what Holland will have to get, and wickets do come into that equation, so they are intent on keeping wickets in hand. There'll be 2 here.
Yes, whatever calculation is done, it will, in theory anyway, make it more difficult for Holland. But if they can take a wicket or 2 wickets in these last couple of overs, and the Australians are aware of that, then that would make their task correspondingly easier.
Missed out. End of the over, 2 to go, 163 for 2. Continues to bowl well. Enjoying it.
Well, the spin and bounce there, that has taken off. It's landed just short of a length, and the wicketkeeper has taken it at chest height. There's a bit there for the spinners.
Well, he has 1 ball to go. He could finish with a maiden here.
I think that last shot was confirmation that the Australians don't want to lose a wicket. It might mean an adjustment of, say, 15 runs in the chase Holland will have to make.
Just the 1 off the over. So well bowled, JJ Eismar. 164 for 2. Just 1 over remains in the innings. So with 1 over to go, Australia 164 for 2. The captain, Roland Lefebvre, Dutch captain, takes the responsibility himself. He has had 7 overs. Only 1 bowler can have 8, and he has taken that responsibility. Here he is. Superb spell early on. And the Australians here just ensuring they do not lose another wicket, because that'll gain them runs. The fact that they've only lost 2 wickets will come into the equation very much in their favour when Holland's target has to be worked out.
Well, Roland Lefebvre bowled very well early on. His bowling figures are outstanding, and it wasn't that he went past the edge of the bat all that much. He bowled 7 overs for 13, but he did have the batsman playing defensively for most of the time. That was Matthew Hayden and Jimmy Marr right at the start of the innings. It was a delightful performance. Nice to watch, moving it in the air and off the seam as well.
Well, he's found the edge now. Down to third man for 2. Yeah, he's very experienced. He turned 40 last week. Roland Lefebvre has played in county cricket in England, also in New Zealand first-class cricket, and can produce deliveries like that.
Yeah, I saw Lefebvre play in England, and then he sustained quite a serious injury and didn't play any more county cricket. But while he was there, he was this sort of bowler, probably a bit quicker in those days, but using the seam and swing and looking good.
Pulled a good last over here. The Australians playing it cleverly. They've worked things out. The coach, captain, has instructed them, just don't get out. Just keep only 2 wickets down, and it'll be to our advantage in the end. 2 balls left in the innings. We've had 3 breaks so far during the day.
It's one of the oddities of the system under which we work, that play defensively towards the end of your innings is sensible in that it can make the opposition's task more difficult.
So they finish off with a single. The last ball of the innings brings 6, but it means that the Australians have come back out and have not lost a wicket, have pushed their total to 170 for 2 from the 36 overs which were eventually allocated. 47 runs came from the 8 overs after the 3rd break, and that will be represent quite a sizable total for Holland to chase from their 36 overs when they come back out. That it's been a tactical issue here. I know that club cricketers and those who are not acquainted with the intricacies of the Duckworth-Lewis system and don't play it much would have been mystified by what we've seen over the last 8 overs on resumption, but it's had a purpose, and the purpose has been to ensure that Holland have more to get from the same number of overs than Australia. I hope you understand that. Not many people do, but that is the way that it's worked out under the Duckworth-Lewis system. Australia having been sent in, and we had 3 breaks. That was the reason for the reduction of the Australian innings to 36 overs. Jimmy Mayer 26, caught it slip. The leader getting both wickets. Matt Hayden caught in the deep mid wicket, and then Martin and Lehmann towards the end, putting on 67 from 80 deliveries and boosting the score to 170 for 2. There's the bowling. 6 of them used. The captain, superb. 8 overs, none for 19. 2 maidens for Ronald Lefebvre. 2 wickets for Tim De Leede, who will have to come out. He's their leading batsman as well, so they'll depend on him for their batting to put up a show. So there's the Australian total, 170 for 2. 123 dot balls in that innings, which may seem a little bit strange for Australia against Holland, but there was a purpose for it and a reason for it. The reason was that the pitch was favouring the bowlers, and the purpose with the 3 breaks was that the Australians were careful not to lose too many wickets. They only lost 2, and now they come out there with Andy Bickle and Glenn McGrath and others, and the adjusted target for Holland, they have to get 198 of the same number of overs the Australians faced, 36. But the reason for that 198 is that the Australians only lost 2 wickets in getting there. So Holland, adjusted target, need 198 to beat Australia, who scored 170 for 2 from their 36 overs.
2 shock losses have put South Africa under enormous pressure as they fight to stay in contention.
Can you believe that?
Can they pick up the pieces against Bangladesh?
Beautifully bowled.
The World Cup continues live Saturday night from 7, Fox Sports 2.
This classic Ashes moment on Fox Sports is brought to you by Hahn.
And that's a lovely stroke from Border once again.
Here it is. Wonderful innings from just about the most durable cricketer you could ever imagine, Alan Border.
Enjoy a Hahn premium line during the cricket.
There are sports, and there are extreme sports. Just like there are compact four-wheel drives, and there's the Nissan X-Trail. Its extreme interior has clever features like a washable luggage board and drink coolers. The X-Trail. Only Nissan takes the compact four-wheel drive to the extreme.
Harvey Norman's Big Bonus catalogue is out now. Grab a copy and hurry in for Big Bonus electrical savings. Plasma screens, TVs, DVDs, videos, stereos, fridges, freezers, washers, dryers, microwaves and much, much more. If you want a deal on electrical, then there's never been a better time to buy than now. Irons, toasters, vacuum cleaners, barbecues and portable audio. We have it all and we have the bonuses and deals as well. Harvey Norman's Big Bonus catalogue. You can't afford to miss it.
Get the big picture when Greg Clark puts the game under the microscope. And keep up to date with the latest news and results from the weekend's action. Super 12 Wrap returns Monday night at 8, Fox Sports 1.
It's time for... Okay, here we go. Unbelievable scenes here in Adelaide.
Get ready for the NBL playoffs.
Coming soon to Fox Sports.
Forward defence to start with. Maybe just a hint of swing there from Glenn McGrath. Back in towards the left-handed Van Troost.
He's been doing that, hasn't he? He's been shaping the ball more regularly than he used to. He used to last only the first over. The white ball used to swing away from the right-handers or into the left-handers, and then McGrath would give it up and look for line and length and a bit of pace. He's been doing it more regularly in the last 6 months.
That one's 132 kilometres an hour, so not overly quick from Glenn McGrath, but he'll be just trying to get the ball on line and length. And we saw earlier today when Roland Lefebvre won the toss and elected to bowl first, there was certainly some movement in the air and also off the seam, and although conditions certainly have improved, there's still a bit of cloud cover. There still will be a bit of swing out there for the Australian bowlers. It's charged him. Got an edge, got it away for 4. Well, a good confident start for Van Troost and for the boys from Holland.
Doesn't matter to Van Troost whether it's going to swing or not. He knows McGrath's length's going to be somewhere consistently where it normally is. Tries to get to it, mishits it, but accepts the 4. What can McGrath follow up to? He's all of a sudden easing into an innings where he thinks he's going to get pole after pole. He's been snicked for 4.
He's played that nicely too into the gap. Well, Glenn McGrath started with a smile with his spell. Chatting to Peter Woolley, the umpire. Jenny looked like he was out there to enjoy himself. But I can tell you, Glenn McGrath doesn't enjoy being hit for 4 no matter where it goes. And all of a sudden the smile's gone from the face and it's game on.
2 to come.
They've used the short ball very well, the Australians, to the Indians and the Pakistanis. But today's a day which they should be pitching up and using what's in the wicket.
There's certainly some movement there. Put away off the seam. And Van Bunga, his highest score of 62 is against India in this competition. Bowled a couple of overs today of leg spin and went for 20 runs, so we want to put that behind him. The side need him to make a good score here today. Firstly, try and see off Glenn McGrath. I'd called. Peter Willie. A fair enough call too. Started on those lines on the popping crease, which are an indication to the umpires of what should be a legitimate delivery, and that one went further away. That's nicely bowled, and also well played. Van Bunga kept it down nicely. 7 runs from the first over. That's out. Yes, good healthy edge. And Jason Gillespie's only taken a couple of deliveries to continue where he left off against India. Short of a length, swing away, good healthy edge, and Holland are 1 down.
Test match field in place, 3 slips and a gully. Big gap left at cover for the shot. That's why he played it. He only managed to hit it to Damien Martins. 2 hands held head high, and Gillespie, second delivery, takes a wicket. Holland, 8 for 1.
Baz Zuderant is the man batting at number 3 for Holland. And he's played some first-class cricket, Zuderant, for Sussex. Made his first-class debut back in 2001. 17 matches of first-class cricket, averaging 23.8. It has 100 next to his name, so he's no slouch with the bat. But he want to be on his best behaviour against Jason Gillespie, who has certainly shortened his run-up for this match. Maybe something he's working on that he'll use later in the tournament when Australia are trying to get through some overs. But that run-up is, I'd say, it's about half the length of the normal Jason Gillespie run-up. Still 3 slips in the gully in place.
Well, he must have worked out pace is not going to be the key here. If I can get it on the right spot, this ball will move. It'll swing, it'll seam. I might get a wicket, and he did. Second ball. The first one was a wide. Second ball, they leave the gap in cover for that shot, and Damien Martin takes the outside edge, and he is rushing through these overs. Here he comes again.
He's at the moment only bowling around about 135, Gillespie. We saw him bowl about 145 against India, but still getting good bounce and good carry, where Damien Martin's taken that right up above his forehead. Gillespie now has 5 wickets for Australia in this World Cup. He's bowling very well.
And Glenn McGrath's operating into the wetter areas of this pitch. The main wet areas where he is following through, but down the right of screen as we look at that pitch, that's where he's going to get the most uneven bounce. All down that right side of the pitch is where it was wet this morning, so I'm sure it's still going to be a little trampoliny this afternoon. Not that Brett Lee cares.
Quite a few Dutch supporters here. Northwest Stadium in Potchefstroom. And just short of Ricky Ponting at second slip.
It's good bowling by Gillespie, finds the right length. Van Troos stuck. He really wanted to walk out towards Gillespie that time, but couldn't get to him. Decides to stay and just takes the outside edge in front of Ricky Ponting.
Here's Gillespie.
Wait and get wrong.
He's got that through. Beats Andrew Simons. To the cheer of the Dutch crowd here. They're enjoying every run that's scored.
The Dutch version of the Barmy Army. Look fantastic, all sitting together in the one stand. And here they go. They've just won the World Cup. No, they haven't. He just got 2 to third man.
That's beautiful bowled. Big shout. Well, stifled shout, should I say. More from Jimmy Maher than anyone else. And that's what can happen when you put the gloves on for the first time. Well, not so much the first time, but when you're not used to it. All of a sudden one flies past the outside edge, carries through, and you think you might have a chance. You might have a catch. And not a great lot of support from the bowler. And that's a chance. He's got it this time, Jimmy Maher. Yes, and the batsman's walking. And he walked down the pitch to Jason Gillespie to try and give himself some room to hit the ball over what was probably extra cover. Gillespie saw him coming, fired at the body, got it on the gloves.
Good bowling to follow up the wide that he delivered the ball before. Sees the batsman coming and giving himself some room, cramps him up, hits the splice through to the keeper who thought he had to catch the ball before. But this time Gillespie strikes for the second time. Zuderant out for 5 and Holland 18 for 2.
Klaas van Noordwijk is the new man for Holland, coming in at 2 for 18. One of the more senior members in the Holland side. And an excellent World Cup in 1996, which was held in the subcontinent. Made 168 runs in the 96 World Cup, averaging 42 at a strike rate of around about 62. And he'll be tested today facing Gillespie and McGrath. Big shout. Looked a little bit leg side though. And he was beaten by pace, but fortunately the line was a bit leg side.
Looking for the ball to seam off the pitch. Just like Zuderant had to look out for what Gillespie was going to deliver when he cramped up a pull shot.
Oh, once again beaten by pace. Fortunately, Van Noordwijk had also beat the leg stump. 3 from the over and a wicket, 18 for 2. 6 overs bowled by the Australians so far. Holland needing 198, 18 for 2, and we've got our first bowling change already from the university end. Glenn McGrath is off. There's the wicket of Zuderant, caught behind by an elated Jimmy Marr. Darren Lehman is the new man, and that'll surprise a lot of people, bowling the 7th over of the innings. In the commentary box comes Dean Jones, and with him Michael Holding.
Thank you, Mark. I think everyone knew that Australia would be rushing through these overs, and perhaps that's the reason why Darren Lehman has been brought into the attack. He'll bowl his overs quite quickly. That again was Jason Gillespie's wicket. Just to show you the measure of the pace that Australia are going. It's pretty difficult to show you replays.
They'll be going at 1 minute overs here. He's almost running back to his crease. Darren Lehman.
That's a good hit. Found the gap in the mid-wicket region. Won't get to the boundary. And the Bickle doing the fielding. And a good throw right over the top.
He has to still have 2 boundary riders. He's got one behind square and also round about Cowie corner. Andy Bickle down there. A little bit of turn there. He's looking to try to hit him over the top of mid-off and mid-on.
It's 20 for 2. I don't think Australia are thinking that Holland will get to what they need to be after 25 overs. They have lost, what, 2 wickets? If they keep the 8 wickets in hand after 25 overs, they need to be 118.
Start, Roy.
That's not quite on, is it?
No. Well, anyone can explain to me what the Frank Duckworth and Tony Lewis system is. Well,
yes, both.
There's a chance for a run out, and you make it. Quick single there. I think the Australians got it wrong. They just went a bit defensive in their last eight overs there, and where I think if they end up made it 6 for 190 instead of 2 for 170, they would have had a target of 218. So I don't think they got that right.
Not too sure how easy it is to get the Duckworth-Lewis system right, though. Takes quite a lot of thought. Make sure that you know every equation that's possible. That's a good shot. That will go a long way towards the boundary. Not too sure it will get there. Matt Hayden doing the chasing.
Take him off.
This could be close. He made it. About 3.
Well, if that hit, a direct hit, that might have been very interesting. He's got a very strong arm, Matty Hayden. He picks it up just to stay inside. The ropes was a good effort. There it is there. The big arm in. Well, had him pressed, didn't he?
That's gone back with a square. That one will go.
Just have to be a bit careful here. Bowling their part-time bowlers a little bit early. Tossed it up and flicked it away. Didn't that turn though? Top edge. Still would have thought, I think the Dutch guys would like to have faced a bit more McGrath or Gillespie, or maybe not.
Well, lots of turn, lots of turn.
Why is that on a wide? Let's have a look and see if it's come off a pad. It must have come off the pad.
Bowling, Roy.
8 overs bowled, Holland 28 for 2. Just a runner ball required by Holland. That will be runs. Not where he wanted to get them, but he'll get them nonetheless.
It's his second boundary, and it's his highest score in this World Cup. 16 down the pitch, big swing. He's no one down the ground, just in the normal place of mid-off and mid-on. And disappointments.
Just looking at the line that Darren Lehman is bowling with mid-on and mid-off up, I think the line needs to be a bit closer to mid-stump. There he is, hitting over the offside. Don't think he can afford to continue bowling that line with the field that he has got. The men deep are on the onside, backward square and mid-wicket.
Bowling.
He just sliced it over cover. Does that hit a rock? Look how much that spun. It must be still a bit soft outside off stump. It's just turning square. Very hard to get a replay in here to show you because they're bowling a delivery nearly every 10 seconds.
Bowling, Drew, like it.
Look at the way this turned. Good keeping too. He's got the helmet on. At least he's smart, Jimmy Marr.
Flew off the edge again. It will go all the way.
Well, there we have another one. Short down the pitch. Saw him coming, but he just free flow of the arms. Top edge. And this ground is still very, very fast considering the amount of water we've had on it. Looks like he's just trying to hit homers.
But he's giving it everything, that's for sure.
Right.
Well fielded, won't get past Simons that easily. It's 40 for 2.
Didn't bounce or anything, did it? Looked like the air went out of the ball.
Still think they're much better off trying to hit down the ground.
Wayne, you have to fling it hard.
That was well run, very well run.
Well, you make the most of this bowling, really. Here's the one that kept really low. No bounce. Here's a time if you Dutch batsman here to make some runs before McGrath and Gillespie come back.
That's straight up in the air. It's gone high, but it's not gone far enough. Andy Bickle, well caught.
It was a flyer of a ball, what they call it in the States, a high fungo, they call it. And it was well taken there by Bickle. Top edge there. Tried to hit it over Cowick corner, got a top edge, and the ball seemed to hang like an eternity. Well watched. And Van Troos this time his highest score for the one-day series. He's out for 23, and it's 42 for 3.
Tim, the leader, the new batsman out for Holland. He's not on strike, though. The batsman crossed while the ball was in the air going out towards that mid-wicket region. Got 58 for Holland in his last knock against England. Single now brings the leader on strike. Lots of fielders out in the deep, and that's because they're into the 11th over, and the fielder restrictions are just for the first 10. And the Bickle, being one of the men way out in the deep, held it well. They look simple, they never are.
Lovely bowling.
It's 43 for 3.
Quick single there on the leg side. I feel sorry for the Dutch in respect to they want to have a proper game that goes over the 100 overs, and the reason why the Australians have to get through at least to 25 overs, just in case any more rain comes along, and so they can get a result. They would have liked to have faced McGrath at his best, and Gillespie and Bickle. Unfortunately, this is the way it goes.
Lovely. Pitch.
Well run. I think they would have liked to have faced McGrath, Gillespie, Bickle at their best on a slightly flatter pitch.
I don't think many of them would have got much sleep last night, though, I must admit.
Wide again.
What a fantastic take, even though it was a wide delivery. Jimmy Marr, very good effort.
Oh, he kept his wits about him there.
Here he's down the pitch. He's hit it. He doesn't know where it's gone. Where is it? Oh, stop it from going on the stumps. Nice little flick through the first slip area. And he'll take another boundary. His second one. He was gone. He was down in no man's land, wasn't he? And done him in length.
Always a safe shot with no slip. Years of practice, you'd say. 50 for 3. Holland's 50 came up in the last over. They are 50 for 3.
Lovely.
Well, we are changing our commentators just as quickly as Australia are getting through their overs.
On it, Des.
In the commentary box now, we've got Tony Kozia, and with him, Richard Beno.
Lovely.
Thank you, Mikey. Bizarre cricket, I suppose you can call it, but for a reason. 51 for 3.
Oh.
Australia, as you've been hearing from Mikey Holding and Dean Jones, just with an eye on the weather here, not taking any chances. It doesn't look as if it's going to intervene again during the afternoon, but you never can tell. They've run well. Simons and Lehman together, getting through the overs at a rattling rate. But none of the low cloud which we had earlier hanging over the ground. Still very grey and overcast, but it is high.
Right, Ricky!
Through mid-wicket, but he is backed up, so just a single.
Hold on, back.
Well, I'm no weather forecaster, but just been a bit disturbed looking away to the left there. There seems to be a bit of cloud coming up against the breeze. And I would think the Australians have got an extended forecast as to the weather, and they might not be all that happy about it. That will be the reason Simons and Lehman are on at this stage of the game.
Ooh.
Nicely played.
On,
waited for it, turned into him, and he'll get 2 runs. Nice looking shot. Very cleverly played. Moved up to 57 for 3.
Right, I'm on that.
Well, there'll be another 11 overs before 25 are up, which constitutes a match. And the way they're going will take about just under 20 minutes. Now, overrunning it, McGrath his anxiety to pick it up. So the single scrambled. 14 overs gone, 58 for 3. So 58 for 3. The leader bowled well today, and their leading batsman got a half century against England. He's in strike now. It's a very well organised player. Sweetly timed push down to extra cover.
Bardo, you go to 45, please. Go that way.
Against England, unbeaten 58 from 96 balls. And it was a
Come
good
on, boss,
performance.
come
He's
on,
a
mate.
lovely stroke player.
4 and 5.
So he goes this time, and Darren Lehmann has got the wicket. Beat him really in the flight as much as anything else there. So 4 down for Holland for 59 now.
I think that might have got him on the back leg. Not absolutely certain with the naked eye, but if it did that and was his top spinner. Yep. And it's the one he brings back with his arm, and it would have hit middle stump about halfway up. Good decision. It's 59 for 4 after 14.2.
There are sports, and there are extreme sports. Just like there are compact four-wheel drives. And there's the Nissan X-Trail, with the latest generation 2.5-litre engine for extreme all-round performance, on or off-road. The X-Trail. Only Nissan takes the compact four-wheel drive to the extreme.
Join Rugby Union Tipping at tuisnew.com.au for your chance to win a trip to the Bledisloe Cup.
Walk into a Harvey Norman superstore and discover
The largest range of computer and communication products on display and sale anywhere in Australia.
We always give you our most competitive prices every day.
Sales staff that have the experience to answer your questions or get the information for you.
And qualified service centres to handle all your minor or major installations and repairs.
When you find all of this under the one roof, why would you shop anywhere else? Harvey Norman, the one-stop shop for all your computing needs.
For the latest news and results, get online at foxsports.com.au.
New batsman is Reinhard Schulte. Comes in with Lehmann just taking the wicket of Van Nordwijk. 4 down now for 59 Holland. And as we expected in these conditions, especially struggling here. A couple of wickets for Darren Lehmann. And now the field coming in for the new batsman. Taking it slip off the pad.
This is well bowled by Lehmann. It's the one that goes straight on, and it's got him on the back knee. Very much plumb. The situation here is that because of all the rain interruptions and the late start, we're into an unusual position with the Australians having to get through 25 overs, and that's the reason the spinners are on now. The field restrictions went off at 10.
15 overs gone, 59 for 4. The leader on 10, and really not easy at all for them to get moving. The ball is turning sharply. Well, if it turns down the leg side and is short, it's a free hit. And it is it for 4.
A very simple thing for Andrew Simons. He just has to bowl the ball well up and well outside the off stump, and just keep bowling off spin, because it is turning a yard, but not that one.
Yes, Pete. Hold on.
The leader's gone to 14. Schulte still to get off the mark.
Wayne, yours, punt, yours. Yes, punter!
Now they'll have to hurry if they went for it. This surely would have been a run out. Well, his name is Reinhard Schulte.
Bowling, Roy. Oh, bit of ball.
Soon there for Australia. Only 7 more to go to get 25. 68 for 4.
20 overs bowled, 75 for 4. Darren Lehmann is in his 8th over, and this will be his final over. Australia allowed to have 4 men bowl 7 overs. Andrew Simons has bowled 7, so that'll be his last. And now Darren Lehmann will be the bowler who's going to bowl 8 for Australia. And he has figures of 2 for 20 at the moment.
Yes.
I think Smith might be saying to his captain, well, captain, I don't want a bat. Put me at number 11, because of the same thing you were referring to just now, Mark, with Gillespie and McGrath coming back into the attack.
Oh, it's up in the air. Has he got enough on it? I think he has. Lehmann's going back, but it's over the rope, and a 6. And the Dutch crowd are up on their feet.
Well, Michael Bevan perhaps thought at one point that he had a chance of taking a catch here. I think when he started to go back and he felt the ropes under his feet, he knew then, hopeless. There he goes, steps on the rope. He knew at that point it was hopeless. So I think it was a matter of protection after that, making sure he didn't go back into the boundary.
Well bowled, well bowled.
And it's down to Bevan as well. Just a single this time. There's quite a good Dutch contingency in the crowd, and they certainly enjoyed that shot. First 6 of the day. And not surprisingly, it came from Delata. He's having a pretty good tournament. He has 23 at the moment. Got a couple of wickets early on today. And just playing well in the World Cup, full stop. And that's the end of Lehmann's spell. It's 83 for 4. That's a good single. Not easy for Andrew Bickle either. He's champing at the bit to play. He's a sort of character who loves being out in the middle. Sort of in and out of the Australian side, both in test matches and one-dayers. Seems to be the first man who's often left out. Now he comes in and he's bowling in a match where he's trying to get through overs. Not always easy to find rhythm when you're trying to do that. You're trying to do more than one job at a time. You just like to be bowling, finding some rhythm, bowling around that off stump, picking up a few wickets.
As you mentioned, Andy Bickle seems to be the first man to get left out whenever anyone is being left out, but he never really seems to show the disappointment that must come along with that. He just concentrates on keeping fit, getting into the nets, and hope that he gets recalled. I think that's the way you should go about the job. That's his one-day and international career and test career. 50 games in total. That's not a lot of cricket for the length of time that he has been around. But the mere fact is he has been around, and the selectors have kept him around.
There's a wicket for him. Beautifully bowled. Well, the previous delivery actually went away off the seam. That one was a little bit tighter in. And caught Maher, bowl Bickle. That will give both those gentlemen a lot of pleasure. Good mates, both Jimmy Maher and Andrew Bickle. This was a good delivery.
Very good delivery. Just tending to come back into the right-hander. Not a great deal of movement, but just enough to find the outside edge. That's all you need. And then you need support from the fielders. He got it from Jimmy Maher. It's 85 for 5.
Edgar Schifferle is the new man, the opening bowler for Holland earlier today. Didn't have a great day with the ball. His average of 10 doesn't suggest he's a great batsman either. He's coming in at number 7 though. 2 slips now in place for Andy Bickle. And it's 85 for 5. Six to Shelter. Schifferle has just made it out to the middle. 85 for 5 after 22 overs. So Australia still have 3 overs to bowl before we have a match. And Ian Harvey will bowl the 23rd over. Played the first match against Pakistan. Took 4 wickets in that match at the Wanderers, Ian Harvey. And then was left out, quite surprisingly, in the game against Holland. Here's the last man to go. Leader, good piece of bowling. Seam was up, bolt up right there. From Andrew Bickle, a good healthy edge. And Jimmy Maher loved it. As I mentioned, they're good mates. Andrew Bickle and Jimmy Maher. They both enjoyed that dismissal.
Well, it doesn't matter who the wickets come against. And the Bickle always shows a great deal of enthusiasm with his bowling and celebration with his wickets. Always happy to take wickets. Just enough movement off the seam to bring it into that outside edge.
A single on that occasion. 3 slips now for Andrew Bickle. There is certainly getting a little bit of movement away from the right-handers.
Line has been very good under Bickle. Just about off stump. 3 slips now in place. Captain showing confidence in Andy Bickle's line to give him that extra slip. Just 2 men on the onside. Shouldn't need more than that.
Well, in the end, the Australians look like they're going to do it well. Michael, I'm sure that the West Indies will love this opportunity the other day in Benoni when they had Namibia 2 for 32, I think it was, in their match, but couldn't bowl the 25 overs to constitute a game.
Fell all of 17 overs short. That was unfortunate for the West Indies. That means they now have to beat Sri Lanka, but if you want to win the World Cup or even do very well in the World Cup, you have to beat the good teams.
He's got that away out of the reach of Jimmy Maher. Michael Bevins tracking it down and stops it just inside the rope. The umpires will want to have a look at that, but that's happened right in front of our commentary box here. And I think Michael Bevins done it pretty well.
Yes, umpire Dave Archer just wanting to make sure. Hand on ball, then he gets rid of it before he touches the rope with that hand. Very safe.
That's good pace. Andrew Bickle. Up towards 140 k's per hour. And Shelter seems to be enjoying it. This is the sort of cricket I think Holland would have wanted right from the word go. They wouldn't have expected to be facing Lehman and Andrew Simons bowling spin from overs 7 onwards. This is the sort of cricket they expected. It's very close, and Dave Orchard says better than close, it's out. A little unlucky there, Shelter. Looked to me like it kept down a bit. We talked about the pitch being a little undulating, and that one looked to me like it kept a bit low.
Bit of movement off the seam as well. Gotten beat in 2 ways there. Kept a little low, but the movement of the seam defeated him. Well, I don't think there was too much doubt about that. And Andy Bickle again celebrates. He enjoys taking wickets. It's 90 for 6.
Vico Kloppenberg, the new man, batting at number 8. 4 matches, an average of 5.67, a best score of 10. 4 slips now in position for Andy Bickle. Well, he finds the second of them, Ricky Ponting, but along the ground. 24 overs of bowl, it's 90 for 6. And Australia have 1 over to bowl to constitute a match. And I thought that LBW of Sholto, the ball kept a bit low, but just watching the replay, I think he was more beaten for pace than bounce. Andrew Bickle's bowling around about 140 Ks, and Sholto was just late on the ball on this occasion.
And the movement as well. Ball certainly came in quite a bit from outside the off stump.
Ian Harvey starts a new over to Schifferle. Once again, that ball moved up the seam as well.
Well, Schifferle decided that.
This is a Fox Sports News Flash.
Updating Fox Sports News, Shane Warne will have to wait until tomorrow to hear his fate after the ACB anti-doping panel decided to adjourn proceedings for the day. 7 witnesses were called today. Justice Glenn Williams deciding to delay the decision after the summing up process took over 2 hours this evening. A decision on the spinner's fate is expected to be handed down around 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll have full details on Fox Sports News at 9:30.
That went a long way.
Oh, beautifully bowled, Ian Harvey. Wonderful comeback delivery. Absolutely smashed over the square leg boundary for a 6. And rather than lose his cool, he comes back with a slower delivery. Totally deceives Schifferle.
And right on target. There's no point bowling those sorts of deliveries if they're going to be missing the stumps. They've got to keep them straight. Out of the back of the hand. But the seam is still upright. Just making sure that it goes straight down the wicket. And it was that slow. Schifferle had enough time to look behind him to see the ball rocketing into the stumps. Well, not rocketing. It's 9-6 for 7.
The Dutch captain, Roland Lefebvre, is the new man. He's played some first-class cricket, Roland Lefebvre. Reasonable one-day career average, too, of 24.6. And he's off the mark straight away. That was a beautiful piece of bowling from Ian Harvey, but just get the feeling that Schifferle had done the job as far as he was concerned. He'd hit a huge 6. He was totally deceived on this occasion. But he's got some bragging rights tonight, hasn't he, with that previous delivery.
6 and out. How far he got down the wicket. The important thing for Schifferle though was that Mark Taylor said the ball before. 6 runs, he'll be buying a few pints off that. See these slow deliveries being bowled on a regular basis in the limited over game, but that was very good control. Not everyone has that sort of control over those deliveries.
That's over the slips. And that may well go for 4, and it will. And that'll bring up the 100 for Holland. 101 for 7. And we have 25 overs bowled, so we have a match.
There's been a few action-packed deliveries here. Van Truce started it off. Past third man for 4 twice. Spin and quicks. And that was the 3rd one. Michael Bevan couldn't trace down. 4th one. Very popular scoring zone for Holland today. Talk about their match against Namibia. They stay on a single. Being the big one on March the 3rd. Namibia and Holland were the finalists in the ICC competition to qualify for this World Cup. Namibia beat Holland in the rounds. They played teams like United Arab Emirates, Fiji, Canada, Scotland, Singapore, Denmark. Namibia beat them in the round, then Ireland and America. And then in the final, they beat Namibia off the last ball. And that one is smashed, not through cover, over it, 1 bounce, 4.
It's 111 for 7 from 27.
Well, we've seen third man be popular, but what about that last shot? Over cover. Kloppenberg gave himself some room again, down on the back leg. Timed it beautifully. The Australians were most impressed with that. And so too was Kloppenberg himself. He went to the mid-pitch conversation with his skipper and loved it. The pitch still wasn't rock hard when the game started, and I think credit has to be given to the two captains who decided to play the game no matter what. There's big discussions in the Holland camp. They had team meetings on the field and voted, yes, we'll continue to play. There was a school of thought that 2 points would be useful and would be nice to have for a washout. But they decided to play. And so too Ricky Ponting. They went in and saw the umpires, and of course the captains can run the game at that stage, but the umpires had no input because the ground hadn't been handed over by the groundsman. So the umpires just filled the captains in. Once we get the ground, then, yep, we agree with you. We'll start the game. Full credit to them all.
Nice remark from Lefebvre. He said we're not going to learn anything sitting in the pavilion looking out at the sky. Gone. Just a perfectly simple catch there to the man at slip. The skipper does it, Ricky Ponting.
Third wicket for Andy Bickle. 3 for 9. Kloppenberg's the man. He's decided on defence this over, and all he can do is defend it straight to Ricky Ponting at second slip. And he's out for 9 from 11 deliveries. And Holland, 112 for 8.
New batsman is Jeroen Smits. He's the wicketkeeper. Gave a spirited exhibition behind the stumps. In conditions that weren't all that easy, he stood up over the stumps to the medium pacers. He's in now, but he's not taking strike because the wicket fell in the last ball of the over. Here's Harvey. Will Harvey be even less pleased now? He's found the outside edge, the ball's been fielded, it's then been thrown at the stumps and gone for 4 overthrows. Oh, nice. Now that was nice movement to take the catch. Jimmy Maher, who's the stand-in keeper, he's had 1 or 2 fumbles, but he's also taken some catches, and that I thought was nicely done, but we can hear more about it from an actual wicket-keeper.
No, I agree, Richie. Very comfortable. Made it look easy. No panic, no fluster. And Harvey finally gets the support of his fielding team this time. 4 overthrows earlier in the innings. Jimmy Maher takes a catch for him this time. 118 for 9.
New batsman JJ Esmail comes out because of that catch by Jimmy Maher of Ian Harvey's bowling.
Nice outswinger by Ian Harvey. Perfect for the tail. Good length. Jeroen Smits had to play the shot. He was committed into it. And just a little late. The bat was still a little bit behind where he wanted it. Took the outside edge. Well bowled.
Yeah.
Third catch for Jimmy Maher, replacing Adam Gilchrist today. All enthusiasm. A little bit hard in the hands up to the stumps today, Jimmy Maher. I reckon Gilly will be hard in the hands on that.
118 for 9 from 29. That's a good shot. Played that well. Slippery out there, it's all the rain.
There's a little bit of panic as well. The Australians have employed the short ball at times, and generally the Dutch have been going to the left, and that back foot just couldn't get the spikes into the ground at all. He continued with it, lucky not to hit his stumps.
Very lucky that pad top went really close to it. And beautifully taken. Beautifully taken. That is the end of the game. The Australians winning in 30.2 overs with Holland all out for 122. That's a lovely take by the Australian skipper. Anticipation and movement away to his left.
Great adjustment by Harvey too. It was just a little fuller than the one before, and that's why the bat came in contact with it. Ponting, as all the Australians today, took their catches very well and very confidently. Complete display. They beat Holland and the weather. Holland, in reply, 198 from the 36 overs was their target, and they didn't really get close. Van Troos came out and was very keen to play some shots, 23 from 33, most of them over the slips, and the rest didn't offer too much at all. Tim DeLead hit a big 6 down the ground over mid-off from Darren Lehman in the process when Lehman and Simons were rushing some overs through to get 25 bowled and constitute a match. Glenn McGrath, Jason Gillespie, Darren Lehman, Andrew Simons, all of them had some impact off the seam and in the air against the Dutch bowlers, all out 1-2-2. Australia 170 for 2, and that was extrapolated to 198 for the Holland team to pass. And they fell well short. Australia, using the Duckworth-Lewis method, won by 75 runs.
Comfortable win, Ricky? Happy with where things are going?
Yeah, it was crucial for us to get the points out of this game today after weather looking pretty ordinary this morning. So full credit to the Dutch boys though. They turned up today and wanted to play, and we started on a wicket that wasn't 100%. So full credit to them for wanting to play the game.
Some of the commentators are a bit confused about the tactics at the very end of the batting. Was that to do with the Duckworth-Lewis and not losing wickets?
It certainly was, yeah. Yeah, we had lots of things going through our minds up in the change rooms, and we just decided to get through those last 6 or 7 overs without losing any wickets, and that'll give us a decent enough score to be able to defend as the game went on.
And of course, those quick overs. One over was timed in 1 minute 5 seconds to get to 25.
Yeah, we're a bit worried about the rain coming in again, so it doesn't usually take Darren Lehman too long to get through his overs, and I'm pretty sure it would have been him that bowled the 1 minute over.
So you're quite happy with the way things are going for the tournament so far?
Things are going really well, yeah. The squad's enjoying themselves. We're playing, or have played some very good cricket so far, so we've got a big game coming up against Zimbabwe, and hopefully we can play at our best in that game as well.
Okay, Ricky, good luck.
Thank you.
Ricky Ponting, ladies and gentlemen, the captain of the victorious Australian team. Now for the man of the match. Damien Martin hasn't had a long time at the crease in this tournament so far, but he batted very well today, and he's the man of the match. You can shake Sir Richard's hand first of all, collect your gold watch. Wonderful gold watch. Damien, congrats. Well played.
Thanks, Michael. Yeah, it's nice to get some runs. It's been a bit dry the first 2 games, so it was an enjoyable day.
Your heart must have been in your mouth when you saw that ball going back down the wicket so quickly, though.
Yeah, no, it's one of those ones you need a bit of luck, and I got that early in innings, and I think for a few of us it's just good to spend some time in the middle and crossed our fingers the rain stayed away and we got the points.
Not an easy pitch on which to bat, but you settled down and decided to just bat as long as you possibly could, it seems.
Yeah, key was just time in the middle and sort of post a good score and not lose too many wickets, with the Duckworth-Lewis system. So it was good. This morning we weren't expecting a game really with the weather, so it's great to get the points in the end.
And with that knock under your belt, you must be looking forward to the rest of the games.
Yeah, look, it's always good to get runs in the belt, so look forward to the rest of the tournament and hopefully it goes well.
Okay, Damien, good luck.
Thanks, Michael.
Mr. Damien Martin, the man of the match for that wonderful knock. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have got for you from the presentation area. See you next time.
Australia get themselves to 12 points, and that's a dangerous game today with that wet pitch and losing the toss to Holland. India on 8, Zimbabwe on 8, England on 8. So there's some dynamics there to play out. And Pakistan down 5th position at the moment, just on 4 points. They've got some big games against the top teams yet to come, and that's going to be very exciting stuff.
Yes, plenty of intriguing matchups still to come in Pool A, including Australia's hit-and-run trip to Bulawayo to take on Zimbabwe on Monday. Now, in other World Cup news, the ICC has confirmed Kenya will be awarded 4 points in Pool B after New Zealand chose not to travel to Nairobi for tonight's scheduled clash. Of course, we were going to bring you live coverage of that game, but the cancellation means we'll have to wait until tomorrow for more World Cup action. But what an important match that is. South Africa's hopes are hanging on a knife edge, and simply they can't afford any slip-ups against Bangladesh. Even a washout would just about shatter the host country's chances of making the Super 6 stage. We'll cross to Bloemfontein at 6:45 p.m. Eastern, right here on Fox Sports 2. Now, in a moment, we'll have highlights of the drama-charged showdown between New Zealand and South Africa from Pool B, played last Sunday. Hope you can stay with us on the home of World Cup 2003.
It's the world's richest and most hotly contested tour. Live the drama and excitement. Live and exclusive, the Nissan Open Round 2 tomorrow morning at 7, Fox Sports 1.
Harvey Norman's Big Bonus catalogue is out now. Grab a copy and hurry in for big bonus electrical savings. Plasma screens, TVs, DVDs, video, stereos, fridges, freezers, washers, dryers, microwaves and much, much more. If you want a deal on electrical, then there's never been a better time to buy than now. Irons, toasters, vacuum cleaners, barbecues and portable audio. We have it all, and we have the bonuses and deals as well.